contact.
Wow, guys, I'm in the hot seat.
Who do you become?
I don't know. I'm so uncomfortable with a formal. I even watch other people do intros, and I'm like, you look stupid, you look cringe, and I don't even know why. I need to explore where this comes from in me because I've chosen to do this.
Yeah, and you can do it sincerely, or not. Hey, this is Hey.
Hey, this is Hey, and here's my insincere intro. This episode is actually the most sincere probably I'll ever be until someone else makes me cry, and I can't wait for that day. So my good friend Jordan Thewlis. Oh, and shout out to Anya, producer Anya on the mic.
Hey.
You will hear producer Jordan in other episodes too. He happens to be an old ass friend of mine from the Bay Area. We have shared trauma. That's one of the reasons he's one of my favorite white boys. And I said, we had a guest cancel. I said, please, producer Jordan, get in front of the camera for once. He's a very talented stand-up. He's in front of the camera all the time. and let's interview you. And he went, you know what? My mom's already upset about a joke they posted on Don't Tell Comedy recently. What if I interview you? And unfortunately, I had to agree it was a pretty good idea. This is me explaining in great depth more about where I come from, literally every bitch and parent I've cut off. And by bitch, I include men. We go through some family of origin and ex-relationships and ex-weird friendships. Frankly, we ran out of time. I could probably do a full ep on each one of these stories. Obviously, though, they'll come out. They'll come out as I commune. To start, since this is, once again, early on, here on out, we'll be reading listener letters. Do I have any? No, because no one's listened to this yet because it hasn't come out yet. So we have no contact tales from Reddit. These are folks posting to the internet because they have literally no one else. Why am I roasting people in need? Who I literally share experiences with in order to give a little bit of insight on their difficult no contact situations. Are we ready, Anya?
Oh, we're ready, baby.
Okay. This one is titled, Went No Contact with My Mother, and now she has contacted me that she has cancer.
Damn.
Okay, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer last month in June. We've been no contact for 6 months. Okay, I'm not saying that's nothing. You got to start somewhere about 6 months. I thought this would be like years. Okay, yeah, not to flex.
I've not talked to my mom for 6 months.
Okay, maybe on accident. No, this is obviously very difficult. We're dealing with cancer.
Yeah, this is terrible.
This is so hard. Okay, she recently sent me an Instagram DM to let me know. That is dark when you're getting DMs from your mom that she has cancer. That's a hard place.
That's horrible.
That's a hard place to be in. I didn't respond. Honestly, fair. I just don't want her sucked back. You think it's weird she didn't respond? Okay.
Your mom has cancer?
She could be lying though.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
I've known too many freak bitches to use anything to lie. I had an ex.
That's fair.
I had an ex say he might have throat cancer, so I better talk to him.
Oh my God.
Hit him up and he goes, I just have like a lump. And I'm like, so that wasn't even like a diagnosis? You didn't get a biopsy before you hit me up? People will use cancer to get...
Okay, no, you're right.
To get anything done.
We're only in paragraph 1 on
true.
4 pages of
Let's
this.
call it sentence 3.
Sorry, sentence 3.
I just don't want her sucked back into my life and the negativity she created. I went no contact with both my parents Christmas 2021. This is an old story, turns out. The final reason that I cut her off was just the straw that broke the camel's back. The main reason was that the man who... Okay, this is a content warning. Once again, I don't read these because I want to be surprised. I scan for keywords. I saw cancer. I said, let's go. So content warning for the rest of everything that I'm ever going to do. The man who raised me molested me from ages 2 to 8. When I finally told her at age 8, she told me that she would take care of it. Taking care of it meant the abuse stopped, but she stayed with my abuser. I just want to pause again and say... This is horrible and so common. Yeah. I have heard of this happening to so many people. Damn. Like the best their mom can do is not say, you're a liar.
Fucking 2 to 8?
Dude.
That's
and
so
only stop because
sad.
of her telling the mom.
Can you imagine not like actually like murdering that person?
Oh, I think about it daily.
Like,
I think about it daily in my personal life.
Oh, this is sad.
And the mom, why doesn't the mom want to get a gun? And that's always
That's what I'm not like as a mother. You learn that information. You don't kill that fucking bitch. Like, are you serious?
And not to be this white person, but I did used to work in a prison. And there was a person, and there's a person, my colleague, and he's very public with his story. I just won't say his name here because I didn't actually ask him to bring it up. But he was in prison for 13 years for shooting the man that abused his baby daughter. And nobody's really that mad at him.
Why would anyone be mad at him?
Dude, here's the thing. And he has obviously, reflected on his time. And of course, the cost of then not being present for his child for 13 years. He ultimately regrets it because he said it was more about his ego as a father. I think that's so evolved and something for everyone to think about. But I don't think there's a single person on earth except this mom and all the moms who love to ignore when their child tells them the dark truth. That doesn't get it. People hypothetically casually throw that around all the time. And he just actually did it. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
I wish he shot. Anyway, I told her about the abuse again at 19. And she tried to sit me down with her, my little brother, and my abuser to talk. And we're facepalming. We're facepalming in the studio. I refused. Good for you. But later that night, I was guilted by my abuser into saying I forgive him. And they will do that. And they do love to do that. And you're still only 18, which is 19. That's a child. You have no frontal lobe. My quote unquote forgiveness allowed my mother to forgive him, and she stayed married to him. And that is what they will ultimately do. They will use you as a tool to excuse them not leaving. And once again, sorry this happened, and sorry it's common. Since that time, I've been married to my husband for 17 years. Aw, and had 3 beautiful daughters. Shout out. At least one of them is going to be queer. That's just stats. My mother told me when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter that she raised her kids and would not be babysitting or helping. Well, good. Sorry, my reaction is good.
Yeah,
this
wants
woman,
her?
She don't protect children,
right?
She just wanted to be grandma, and that was it. Yeah.
What the hell is being grandma if you're not babysitting or helping?
I think she's
just some lady that's around.
I think being tagged on Facebook. I do think that's what she's looking forward to.
Photo ops.
My mom chose to see the kids mostly on birthdays and holidays. However, we always had to come to her house, and I spent every holiday and birthday sitting across the table from my abuser. And I have always said the holidays are about abusers, making safe space for abusers at the dinner table. Happy holidays, all abusers welcome. And then I'm finding my place. Okay. In addition, I did most of the cleaning, cooking, and planning for the holidays, celebrations, and birthdays. There was never child-proofed. I would describe your family home as not child-proofed. No one was really setting up protections for you, were they? The tables were full of breakable items that we had to make sure the kids stayed away from. Also, they keep unsecured guns.
What?
Lady, if you have a loose gun, why aren't you using it? What the hell?
That's because gun owners are actually fucking cowards. This is a new theory I'm forming.
I'm pro-gun if it means shooting your husband that touched your
Why
kid.
do you have all those fucking guns if you're not going to use them?
You have them loose and unsecured. That should be for him.
Hello.
They keep unsecured guns hidden all around the house. Hidden is crazy. What, like you roll over on the guy, you're looking for the remote and you pull up a freaking AK? It's kind of a good idea. It's kind of good. That's a little Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's kind of hot, actually.
It's kind of hot.
Finally, as my parents grew older, they became more and more openly racist. Oh, that's not really where I thought this sentence was going. Homophobic. Where did you think it was going? Finally, they become more racist. Finally felt like there was going to be an improvement, but no, the hill continues to be down. Racist, homophobic, and displayed moral values that were greatly different from my husband and myself. Then the pandemic happened, and I gave my mom COVID-19. Nice! Just kidding. And she almost died. Hell yeah!
Got him!
You're not going to use the gun. I'm going to give you pandemic. This experience led to my parents quarantining for the duration of the pandemic. See, that's shocking, though, because usually when you have loose guns and you're homophobic, you pretend COVID isn't real.
Just keep going.
Okay. And not get vaccinated. Oh,
there you go.
Thank you, Anya.
That is.
Thank you, Anya. Even though they were one of the first groups of people able to get vaccinated, being retired in their 60s. My mom and my abuser. I love that. It's not mom and dad or mom and stepdad.
I know, I'm
it's
obsessed. The man who raised me.
Literally. I want to barf for her. My mom and my abuser quarantining and refusing visitors turned out to be one of the more freeing experiences of my adult life. And don't we love to learn in ways we didn't expect?
The pandemic taught us really so much about ourselves.
Actually.
That's a different pod.
We could start it. While my parents were quarantining, I spent holidays and birthdays in my home. This felt safer and more relaxed for myself and my family. Yeah, you think because your abuser wasn't there? You think that might have changed the vibe a little bit? I still cooked, okay, but I was able to plan holidays around my husband and my oldest daughter's schedules. Yes, let her cook for her loved ones who don't abuse her.
Yeah.
They were able to be home and help me with the cooking, so it was no longer all my responsibility. My 2 youngest daughters would help me get the house ready for the holidays, and we clean up after. So this might be what some consider a family.
This sounds so nice.
This might be what some consider normal family activities without being exposed to people who've personally done crime to your body. Holidays, birthdays, and celebrations became so much smoother and easier to handle. Imagine a celebration being fun.
Right? Imagine. Without someone you don't feel safe around.
Being something that doesn't make you want to potentially end your life. Okay.
I think this is it. Yeah.
My parents finally decided to get vaccinated and end their quarantine. Boo! Get back in the house.
Stay in the house.
The question of holidays came up, and they wanted to go back to how everything was pre-COVID. I'm sure you sound like an excellent cook. They refused to consider my daughter and my husband's schedule and plans, and just decided my aunt's schedule was the most important factor. Now, who's this bitch ass
come from?
Thank you. However, they still wanted me to do most of the cooking. This is what you get for being good at something. Damn. I'm so sorry. You're a good cook. Yeah. You should have never let your lazy ass mom know how good you cook. I know she didn't teach you. It came to a head when I refused to go to their house on Christmas Eve. It's always Christmas Eve. I told them that if I want to see my family, we'd all come over Christmas Day. They came over. Everything seemed fine. And then my mom sent me an email the next day about how she thought it was mean that I was depriving her of a Christmas celebration and that I was keeping my children from her. Didn't she basically say to the kids, we're not friends, we're just coworkers?
Right?
And now she needs Eve.
Demanding time.
She needs Eve.
She needs the Eve.
God.
Selfish ass bitch.
Okay. Selfish, but not even consistent. At least be really consistent about what you want and don't want.
She doesn't want to babysit.
She doesn't want to babysit.
Because that is something that they request of her.
I see. She wants to be babysat.
Right. She wants...
The grandma wants to be babysat by her child and grandchildren. She wants to show up
whenever the fuck she wants, which everyone famously knows is really helpful when you have children.
No, she wants her daughter to come by, cook, clean, and take care of her. The grandma wants to be babysat.
Damn,
hot. Just kidding. I told her no one was stopping her from seeing her grandchildren, and she's free to see them whenever she likes. I gave her all the ways to contact my daughter in my last email. So since Christmas, she has seen my 2 youngest ones, and she brought over Easter presents in April. That must have been so hard for her. My middle daughter asked to come see her on the weekend, but my mother always has plans. You know what sucks? The mom's probably really fun. No, you don't get away with this shit ass behavior unless you're like charming as fuck. That's why I watch myself. I'm just kidding. I haven't called it narcissist.
That's why you watch yourself.
I'm really, because I could do this. I could get away with this, and I know that.
Yeah, when you're it's in my very blood. Charming. It's too easy to manipulate people.
Literally every day I'm worried I'm about to become the worst person in my entire life. Honestly, I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been in years. I wish I'd done this sooner. I want to pause right there and just say, if you're listening to this and considering should I cut off the person that abused me and the one who protected him? Oh, it's so difficult. Yes, it is. You're gonna feel this way though. You're gonna wish you did it sooner. And I just want you to hear that right now. I miss having a mom and connection with family. For sure. She is my only living relative other than my brother that isn't just a second or third cousin. I think what I miss is the idea of having a mom that actually cared and shared my values. And let's focus on that. Mm-hmm. You always missed her. Even when you're talking to her. Because did she ever really be a mom for you? And that is sad. And we can have a moment with that. Yeah. I'm sad that my mom has cancer. Oh yeah, she has cancer. You know what? You get cancer.
We're like so against her.
I kind of forgot that was literally the headline that made me choose this story. She has cancer. I hope everything goes well. What does that mean? She dies? Just kidding. I hope everything goes well. But I still don't want to contact her. If you got this far, thanks for reading. We sure did. Mm-hmm. I really needed to get this off my chest. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I tried to keep it brief. Diva, we don't got to keep it brief. No one has to keep it brief.
Yeah. We want the details.
Honestly. I consider this a happy ending because she's like, yeah, no, I'm not her cancer is not going to make me break my boundary.
Yeah.
While not, holding
That's
hate
really impressive
in her heart, the way I made a joke about.
Yeah.
Her cancer.
Especially after 6 months.
It's still fresh.
Yeah. It's pretty fresh. And I feel like that's like, that's enough time. That's like not enough time to go by where you're like, I could continue to have this relationship in my life and like and fall back on old habits.
Truly.
But she didn't.
And she's going to be a bitch in the hospital. She's going to be like, what'd you make? What's for dinner?
Yeah, no, you have to take care of me.
No. And she'd be right this time, but it's sort of like, you burned you cashed your ticket.
Yeah.
I don't know idioms. Sometimes I just start an idiom and I think I'm going to come up with
I
one.
think burned a bridge.
Sometimes it works. I meant to say like, she should have saved her daughter cooking for her creds for when she got cancer.
That's right.
She cashed her I swear there's one in some language and it's not one I know.
It is interesting how much she talked about the cooking. Like, not like in a way, point. In a sense where it's like, that's not like, I don't think that, I mean, that's obnoxious. And like, she clearly doesn't really consider her feelings or like her time or anything like that. But like, the story started with her being abused between the ages of 2 and 8 and her parents not giving cancer. A fuck about that.
And then the whole middle's about who cooks.
Right. And it's like, yeah, no, it's not about the cooking. It's about the fact this woman just like not caring about like your life.
I think cooking
and your well-being
is a symbol here because cooking is both labor that is demanded from I'll just say many people. You could say women, you could say mothers, you could say daughters, you could say POC, whatever. Cooking has a political place in a relationship.
Right.
So often. I do think it's interesting it was brought up so much. It must just be like this repeating point of contention.
Yeah.
I imagine. And I do think it is fucked up to make your daughter cook for the man that abused her.
Yeah.
And we'll put that in the trailer.
Yeah. I do think that. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, this is fucked up. And shout out to this person for literally never changing. Yeah. Never changed. I hope your mom doesn't die if you don't want her to. And I'll leave it at that.
Posted 3 years ago, so I hope that, I don't know.
I hope she's alive if you want and dead if you want.
Yeah.
And that's on my boundary.
I hope this woman stayed strong. Maybe went to the funeral. Maybe didn't. And you know what? I hope the man that abused you got the cancer too.
I hope he dies really slow. Yeah, I hope this cancer was contagious and he dies really slow and no one comes to his funeral because of what he did.
Yeah. And I also want the listeners to know that Hay and I will never apologize for that.
Oh, please. Please. Just write me an email telling me I went a little too far. I'll read it next. That'll be a whole new listener letter corner.
And if you think that you abuse somebody too, we also hope that we wish death upon you as well.
Here's tea. I do believe anyone can I'm sorry. I've worked at abolition.
Anyone can change.
I'm so sorry. I do believe anyone can change. And that does include even the worst crime. That includes the KKK and child abusers.
Of course.
That being said, it doesn't have to be my problem. I don't got to do shit for you. I don't believe in prison, but you can stay the fuck away from me. And I'll leave it at that.
We can leave it at that.
We'll kind of color in the rest of my little story in this episode. Thank you to Jordan for literally guest host of the pod, and I was guest. All right, get into it. I feel like that's what P. Holmes says.
Get into it.
No call, no text, no contact.
I guess I'll host.
I can if you want.
I'll introduce the host. I'm having a guest host today interview me. It wasn't my idea. I said, Jordan, we had a guest cancel. You're one of my oldest friends in the world. We have shared trauma. You've now publicly made jokes about your meth dad. Why don't we interview you? And he said, I'll do the podcast if I could interview you.
Which is what I think the audience wants to hear at this point.
Well, I was gonna do a little. You're right. I was gonna do like a bullet point intro, but sure, I guess this is me qualifying myself.
Yeah.
These are my credentials.
Yeah. It's like if a child actor had other child actors on and then never talked about their own child acting. It's like, But, okay. I'll ask you the questions about... This is No Contact. Welcome to No Contact. I'm Jordan Thewlis. This is our guest, Hey Beacon.
I'm a guest. In my own home.
Hay's done many no contacts we talked about. There's been a few, so we're not even going to spend all the time on one of them. We're going to brush over many.
There's a list. And you've been present for I think most of them. Other than the originals, you've actually been present for all of them.
And what better place to start than with the originals?
The Vampire Diaries spinoff.
Yeah.
Once again, no one in the room gets it. Thank you, they, them. Thank you, they, them, producer Lang.
So this is not the Trauma Dump podcast. This is about relationships and moving on from them, right?
I'm actually learning so much right now about the way it's perceived. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So when did so we're going to start with your parents,
Sure.
who you're not in contact with, and your brother.
Shout out.
Did they happen at the same time, your brother and your parents?
Great. That's a great question. Wow. And I'm like, we've talked so much about this as personal, but I'm sure, I've never laid it all out for you or honestly anyone who I've known for a long time. So if I were to like chronologically describe what happened, I ran away when I was 15. At that point, my mother was not living in the home. She had done a lot of cool things. Don't worry. She's still a good person because she did, what did she do? She was doing AIDS bicycle rides in Hawaii, like fundraisers for HIV healthcare.
Fundraisers for other 15-year-olds.
No, but literally. Is it because I was still straight? And then
Hayes' mom is gay.
My mom's gay and ugly, and everyone knows it. And then she also, for the longest time, went to go rebuild after Hurricane Katrina.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's 2005 or something? 6?
Yeah, you're probably right. And the organization she went with, and I'm not making this up because I would have never do that. She was with an organization called Burners Without Borders.
Hilarious.
That was a
All right, we could end the
people.
podcast. We got it. We're done.
That was with a group of people at Burning Man who literally had all their cranes and their fucking bullshit ass Bobcat tractors on the playa to make their wood to burn at the end of the fucking trip to the desert, and they drove directly from the desert to like Biloxi, Mississippi, which most folks don't know. And look, it's not a competition, but the hurricane hit Biloxi way harder than New Orleans because New Orleans is where the levees broke, but the actual one of the coastal towns was Biloxi, Mississippi. So that, whatever, they're annoying people with top hats and white dreads, but they still did good work.
Imagine though you just lost everything.
Yeah.
Your like socks are soggy still. Your family's a mess, and then what's that over there coming over the ridge?
What's that
oh,
smell?
No!
Literally,
It's Burning Man people.
literally, that is what happened.
We don't want to talk to people about their hacky sex right now.
That's exactly.
I did drugs in college, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
That's exactly what happened. That was their service. And I just remember, this was told to me by like a family friend who I later got in contact with.
Ooh.
This is my like fake Hawaii family.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into it. She said that I guess my mom's number one brag was that this is a very sad story. There was a Vietnamese Buddhist temple that had raised money for 25 years, opened the day before Hurricane Katrina, immediately got demolished. My mom, of course, is a white Buddhist. My mom, of course, is a death doula and a Buddhist chaplain with a terrible temper. And so
Death doula.
I don't think it's a real program. It's not something I'll look into. I like the idea of it, just not when she does it. And she said that what these people need now more than ever is beauty. So she built them like
Perfect.
some Buddha statues and like put fucking picture frame decorations on the like welcome to Biloxi like government issued town sign.
Beauty.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
That's my white lesbian mom.
Burners Without Borders, focusing on beauty. I feel like I'd be like, maybe we do the borders.
Maybe do the borders.
Maybe we keep them behind a border.
And I was like, I don't know about like food, but she didn't really care that I had food, so why would she care about them?
Okay, so she's gone a lot.
She was gone on many trips, and it wasn't clear to me my parents broke up. They like never had that talk with me.
But you suspected it probably.
Well, she wasn't there, but she was like always just doing charity work.
But they would tell you like, oh, I'm coming back.
I could have been so in denial. I mean, let's be honest. I was kind of dumb when I was 9. I was sort of like in denial, very, very in denial. I definitely inherited a capacity for denial from
But also,
her.
you inherited, I think this is the reason why kids are such in denial is because we inherit a story, which is you have parents, they're your mom and your dad, they love you, they're together, so it takes a lot for you to break from that notion, even when the evidence is in front of you.
Even when they're literally like the biggest problem in your life, you still feel protective over them.
And the desire to be protected and like will pretend like you are sort of
just for it to not be true. And
Yeah.
so I had this like kind of hero complex with my mom. I mean, Gilmore Girls was on at the time. I remember being like, that's gonna be us when she comes back. I'll be like a cool teen, and she'll be like,
yeah.
she's not hot, but you get it. And so yeah, she left. I mean, she had this theory, and I won't get fully into it, but my dad's kooky crazy, full on. Like I knew he was an addict before my life, but he had sort of just cold turkey cleaned up, which like a lot of people can't do. And well, it turns out he didn't eventually, but so it wasn't like a secret from me. Maybe it should have been. But she left him to go be gay with my teacher.
And you're 10 years old?
9.
9.
He fell into like some kind of agoraphobia, probably drug induced, etc. Never got a job again. Started selling drugs in the house. Many other people moved in. Like
was he like blaming the divorce and her for all of his problems?
And me.
Oh.
Me and her were one. 100%.
And where's your brother right now?
So right now?
No.
God love him. God love him. I hope a facility that's keeping him safe.
When you're 9.
When I'm 9. Yeah, so he's only a year and a half older than me. Okay, and some tea about my brother, not to be like my whole family's gay, it's genetic, but my brother was born with like an intersex person.
Really?
Yeah, and they chose a gender for them at 10 days.
Wow.
And I say this because my brother was pretty. My brother was prettier than me, but then he started doing meth when he was 11, so then his body was not tea.
But intersex people are more prone to drug addiction.
Yeah, that's. I think he could have been safe in another life. Intersex wasn't the ultimate. And I don't even think he thinks of himself this way. Like, it was open. Once again, pretty open acknowledgement. Like, oh, yeah, your brother had a disease. He developed a disease because after the operation, his intestines never fully, like, developed whatever muscle systems they need for him to shit regularly. So then he couldn't shit his whole life either. He was just a force-masked little boy who couldn't shit anymore. And that's on trans affirming care.
So you're 9 years old. Your brother's like 10 and a half, 11. Does your dad hate him too, or
not in the
like,
same
he's
way?
Siding with
Yeah.
Maybe?
No, they kind of teamed up.
Yeah.
The kind of team was kind
Boys
of a
versus girls.
2-on-1, literally, and that's why I'm they them now. But I truly think it makes sense that he allied with my dad for gender reasons. Like he wasn't othered the way that I was, and the other men in the house definitely are the reason he started like selling drugs when he was 11. My dad almost weirdly pretended he didn't know. There's so much stupid lying in my family.
So when your mom would go away on these long trips, when she left when you were 9, were you speaking during that time?
She'd call me like once a month, and then sometimes she'd be like, oh, because she's like living in a van in the like broken down swamp. So the longest trip, she went to the Amazon too for like, I don't know, 3 months. The Biloxi trip was probably like a year and a half. Maybe I think I was like in middle school when she got back.
Yeah.
I remember she'd always be like, I'm going to fly you out here, which is like, what a wild trip to imagine flying your fucking 10, 11-year-old to the swamp in Biloxi to stay with you in your van, which is, to be clear, what I wanted more than anything.
So she would say that and it would get your hopes up.
Oh, yeah. Dude, she was breadcrumbing me. My mom literally was in a situation with my mom while she lived in the swamp, and she was breadcrumbing me and then flying her girlfriend, my teacher, out like 4 times.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And shout out to that lady. It's not her fault.
So at this point, you still desperately want to be in contact with your mom.
She's like my only hope. She feels like a lifeline to me.
To get you away from your dad.
Oh, yeah. Even though
because she got out. You're probably jealous.
I was so jealous. And I also was like, I do believe that my dad like treated her differently because his mental health spiral was like triggered by her leaving. Well, that's probably not even true, but you get what I'm saying.
That's what he says. That's what he believed or told himself
anything.
Anyway.
Let's just say it got a lot worse, and she never knew that, but she like didn't want to either. And this is so to go back to me being now like my fake mom is her best friend growing up, and now we both don't talk to my mom. That's the family that lives in Hawaii that I now have somewhere to go for Christmas if I want.
Yeah, so jump way further is that around the holidays, everybody spends time with their family, and it's a hard time for people who aren't in contact with their family, so you go to Hawaii.
Now, as of 2019, I've been in contact with them again, and they all have queer children.
With the Hawaii family.
Yeah, they're Obama's pediatricians, and all the kids are gay. It like kind of couldn't be better.
And that was your mom's childhood friend.
Yep, they grew up together. Their moms were best friends.
So, she took away your teacher, but you took away her best friend.
Hey!
That's revenge.
Yeah, I have one. I do feel I have one. Because once again, she's ugly.
Okay, so your mom is drifting away, and then from ages 10 to 15, you are just
Like
surviving.
9 to 15.
9 to 15.
And it was the type of situation where I didn't have friends over at all because, I didn't want them to see anything that was happening. And the craziest part when I really look back is like, I didn't even admit my parents were split up. Like, I was lying to everyone.
Yeah.
Because I guess it made sense because I was like, oh, well, that's when it all started. So if I don't admit that's my new reality, then maybe they could get back together, LOL, till she actually came out about fucking my teacher. And then it's like, no, this is what happened and we'll go back to normal.
I think even kids with great parents who are wealthy and like emotionally well adjusted, like even they, I think, could relate to that trauma with a divorce. Because it's like a divorce, it's like it tears you apart a little bit.
Which is it's so funny looking back because I'm like, of course that was the right thing to do. Like,
sure.
Of course they shouldn't have been married, not only because she's gay, but he's crazy. It's like, it's just funny that that's the worst thing that can happen to you as a kid in your imagination. And then, of course, like pretty quickly, I was like, I got bigger fish to fry.
Right.
So then I did run away. I did eventually.
Anything you want to share from those years from 9 to 15, or should we skip forward?
We can mostly skip forward.
Okay.
It'll probably come up when Kylie Vincent's here.
All right. So
But no, it was a highly abusive situation in almost every way you can imagine. And when Regan, who is my mom's best friend, who I stole, she has talked to my mom about it. My mom's justification is like, oh, he would never abuse a kid. It's just me. Isn't that funny? That's like a perfect white woman kind of. I'm the only one that can be victimized by this. Not literal children. Okay, but my brother. You did ask about my brother. He hit teenagerhood before me. So he just left the house all the time. Like, was with his friends. And I remember
would be gone for days.
Days, like sleeping over them. And like, then that put the responsibility on me in my mind to like, literally, and we'll put every content warning in the bio, but literally like keep my dad from killing himself. I was scared to go to school because if I came home one day and he'd finally done it, I'm like, I could have been the one to stop him.
Relate.
Yeah, and this is something we have talked about.
It's because he's telling you constantly that he wants to and that he's going to, and then threatening and like trying to manipulate you.
Doing it in front of me after he got too mad at me, and then he felt guilty, and then I go save him.
And would he have those like back and forth moments? Would he ever come back and apologize after being like, oh, sorry?
His apology was trying to kill himself.
His
apology for getting so mad.
It's like a Japanese approach to shame.
There were knives. There were sometimes
World War
knives.
II era.
Okay. He was old.
Yeah.
He was born in the 40s. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
49, but still.
Wow, old dad.
Yeah, young mom. Gen X mom. She's gay.
So when did the no contact with your brother start? Did it just peter out?
That's such a good question. Yeah, because I learned pretty quick he was like, not my LA. And I don't know. I didn't like him, and I was so worried about him. Like, we fought a ton. He was, like I said, he joined the team or whatever against me. But he also, he was like cutting himself and shit, which I totally blamed on My Chemical Romance.
Hilarious.
Like, I used to be like nauseous when like the Used and MCR would come out because I'm like, this is what made my brother cut.
He's like listening to I'm not okay.
That song used to like, oh my God.
You're like, it's because you're listening to that song.
No, but
turn it off and you'll be okay.
Literally.
The songs make you not okay.
Okay, but literally. And it is so funny now. Maybe I could do a bit about it. People don't like when I talk about my family on stage, but no, I remember trying to talk to him about it, and he too was just like, no, nothing happened. That like it was an accident, and he's like covered it. I know it. I know what I'm looking at, and yeah, that was just like the culture of the family was like nothing's wrong, even though there's physical evidence everywhere, and so I just knew I couldn't. I knew he wouldn't come with me. I knew he would like. I didn't even think about that till this moment. If I'm being honest, I was like, oh no, I'm in this on my own, and.
No, I mean, me and my brother weren't. We would be like, I hate you, but like in a kid way. But
sure.
I relate to. We both felt like we were on our own, and we never like joined heads.
You never talked about anything. No. What's your age difference?
A year.
Yeah, you guys were also
15 months.
Close.
Yeah, it's a year and a half.
Like you saw each other at school every day. You were, dude.
We were on the tennis team together.
You were on the tennis team together. Was he like my brother was really bullied, and I would stand up for him just because I knew they wouldn't hit me because I was a quote unquote girl.
Yeah.
Isn't your brother?
My brother
a
was,
nerd?
I would say, more teased. Langston remembers. He
was
wasn't friends.
teased.
He didn't know anybody. Like he
Yeah.
was just like nobody. He would say he's like I don't want to be friends with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like I hear him say like oh everybody's stupid. I don't want to be friends. I'm like he's smart. He just doesn't want to. I never saw him as the victim until I was older. But anyway,
defending
back
himself.
to you.
No, girl, we're doing this back and forth. I didn't know that about our brothers. I knew that you were close in age. I didn't know that he was also like a loser dwarf.
No, and frankly, literally, it's January right now. Around Christmas, we talked about it for the first time, and we shared for the first time that we were both suicidal at the same time.
Like when you were in high school, or
during the thick of all the bad stuff. Yeah.
How old were you in the thick of all that?
The worst years were probably 10 to 13 years old.
And I really think it shocks people that a child can be suicidal at that age.
Right.
But it makes sense because you are so small and simple, and you're just like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
I think it's more
It's just a way out, and you fantasize because it's like the pain stops if I do this thing.
Mm-hmm. And like you think no one cares. I mean, you're a child being kind of like proven that no one cares, at least enough to choose you the way you should choose a child if you're a parent or adult.
When's the last time you talked to your brother?
Okay. And someone actually asked me this like 6 months ago. So again, him being weirdly casual about everything meant, so okay, when I ran away.
15.
And there's, details about like
I'll
how
ask
long.
you more about that in a sec.
Yeah. It took me a while to then end up moving in with my mom. She was kind of being non-committal about it. And there was a birthday or something.
That's unusual for lesbians.
You would think. My mom would U-Haul with everyone but me. And I remember, because my brother and my mom's birthdays are a day apart, the 24th and 25th of April. So I'd been with her for maybe like 4 months, and she was like, we're going to see your brother for my birthday. And I was like, I can't really fucking argue, but was not a fan of him, was not interested. Also worried that kids were coming up at school and telling me like,
saw him at a party.
He does meth, and he was his rib cage was crazy. Like again, pretty obvious.
You mean
skinny and like in a way I've never seen before or since. Like jutting out. Yeah, he was so beautiful for being intersex, and then he got meth face. But he did come over, and I just remember it was like not fun. I was not trying to fight. Wasn't interested.
Wait,
in
so
fighting.
this is after you run away? This is like 16, 17?
No, this is like 4. I'm 15 still. No, I was 15 still, and he like came to where we lived. I remember being like, I don't want him to know where we live because I don't want him to tell my dad. But it was just kind of annoying as usual.
And that was last time.
Then cut to I'm in college, 1920 in Davis, California, working at Trader Joe's. He comes through my line on his way to Burning Man.
Coincidence.
He saw me and like did it on purpose.
Oh.
But it wasn't even like it was the length of a normal transaction. He was just like,
hey, how's it going?
Literally.
You doing anything today?
Yeah, I'm working, bitch, because I have no money because our family fell apart.
So you work at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
You would have these conversations.
I'm going to college, imagine.
Everybody listening to this knows the Trader Joe's chat. That's what you had with. When you go to Trader Joe's, they ask you a couple questions. That's what you did to your estranged brother.
He did that to me.
That's funny.
He looked so bad too. His hair was so long. He was already dusty, and he hadn't even hit the playa yet. I just remember being like, So then he became friends with my mom. He hated her. He hated her because he believed like the dadaganda.
Yeah.
Propaganda from dad.
Sure.
And then they became like burners together. And the whole time I'm just trying to go to school. But he did come through my line. And like,
wow.
I was pretty closed off to him, if you can imagine. And there was no like, this is weird. Crazy to see you. It was just like, hey, what's up? Yeah.
Do you want your receipt?
In the bag? Want a milk? Want a bag in the milk? Milk for the bag?
Man, that's nuts.
Yes, I think that's
the last time.
Yeah, that was when I was 20. That must be it. Because Davis is sort of on the way. You hit like Davis, Reno. Yeah. Black Rock Desert. Okay,
so back to running away. You're 15 years old. When you leave your dad's house who you're living with, does he try to regain contact?
Okay. So it was different because I didn't have a cell phone yet because we were poor. Mm-hmm. Like everyone had iPhones around me. I had like a shit brick Nokia here and there.
You could buy it from 7-Eleven for like a few months, right?
Something like that. So I had those here and there, but like not from my parents. And so he didn't, it wasn't like it would be today. It's not like he could find me as easily,
Yeah.
And he definitely, so when I say I ran away and I was homeless, which like I guess it's true. I just want to be clear, like I had so many random people house me on a couch.
You want to shout out any?
It's endless. I have a list in my phone of everyone's ever housed me because if I make money, I'm buying them a jet ski. I'm not even kidding.
That's sweet.
It's sweet. Everyone was sweet to me, and I lied. Who knows how well? Because I didn't want anyone like sending me back or calling me calling CPS and like putting me in the system.
Because you're still trying to protect your dad for some reason.
It was you know what's crazy? If I'm just gonna get real, and I do have therapy on Tuesday, but it was the decision of like it's okay with me if he kills himself.
Sure.
If I leave and he kills himself, I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like it took me a few years to get over that. It took me from 9 to 15 to be like, I guess it wouldn't be my fault.
I mean, this is sort of my theory with no contact in general as a premise, but especially with your parents, is that at some point it becomes so painful that as a survival mechanism, you cut the cord.
I was just like him or me, and why would it be me? All these people suck.
And then once you cut the cord, you could pretend it's back together, but it's never going to be back together. So you actually don't really mind if anything happens to them.
And it was like just tempering down that natural instinct you have to protect your parent. And I guess it just took that long and that many times for me to also be like, why am I saving life of someone who's like trying to kill me every day? Like, not to be crazy, but I'm like, I'm sort of, not to privilege check myself, but I'm like, I'm creating this situation at a certain point. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You're on your friend's couch and you're like, I was being weird back there.
I was being so weird. I was such a simp. Honestly, I was simping way too hard for my suicidal dad.
Yeah.
And he was British. Both our dads are British, and I just want to put that out there.
Both our dads are Nigel. I shouldn't say that. Let's bleep that.
It's okay. They couldn't understand it.
So, what attempts were made? Did he ever come to your school? Did he ever show up at an event?
Well, I stopped going to school for a little while.
Because you knew he might look for you there?
I couldn't get there anyway, really. I'd go to school and sleep because I didn't sleep all night. So I wasn't really like doing well, you could say. And I did have you know who I do want to shout out is my teachers, Julie Bounds, music, band, and my teacher, Mr. Kenningsberg, because they both were teachers who tried to like talk to me.
Shout out to teachers, man.
Dude, fuck me for not already writing an email. I literally made Mr. K a character in my semi-autobiographical pilot. Mr. K, because I'm trying to be slick about it. And I made him gay. I'm sorry, Mr. K, you're not gay in real life, but it works for the story. But no, they were like, how come you come to class and if you don't sleep, you do engage in debate and you are like doing well on the school newspaper and shit, but like you never turn in a single assignment. And like I was getting solos. I was getting flute solos, not to flex and not in school.
Nobody's impressed.
I was, first chair and like a pretty good student sort of when I was present and I just lied my ass off. They just sent me to the like social workers at school and I was like, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
I did too. I would just sleep through every class and they'd be like, aren't you sleeping at home? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm just tired.
I'm just so tired. I'm growing.
I'm growing.
Aren't we growing? Teens. Literally.
So you weren't going to school. Does that mean
there's some blurry weeks where I'm like, where the fuck was I? Like, I'm like, I know I didn't go to school and I know I crashed at some friends' houses, but I also didn't want to stay at anyone's house for longer than like 5 days because then I figured they would know. And I only had a backpack of a few clothes, I
think like that kind of like situational amnesia is a trauma response. You like forget stuff.
It's so, yeah. And they've called repressed memories like pseudoscience a little bit. Yeah. And I think maybe here and there, like if I were to suddenly think that I, was almost sacrificed in like a satanic cult, pretty common one, I wouldn't believe that, but it's more I get any connectors back. Like I know this happened and I know this happened and now I remember like
remembering
how I got
is
there.
Normal. Everybody remembers stuff.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I had one like that where it was I told my friend I wanted to kill myself. He didn't I forgot. Years later he said, "Do you remember that time you told me that?" And
once they
felt like glass shattering.
Literally.
But it's like that was just remembering. I forgot. But were there? I guess I'm just like trying to dig down into the no contact thing because you clearly went no contact with your dad, and like was it a hard like you left the house and it ended, and so you haven't talked since?
Never.
Okay.
And so he would try here and there. This is actually a crazy memory. I'm like, have I ever verbalized this since it happened? I was 17 or 19? No, because I didn't talk to anyone by the time I was 19. I think I was 16, 17, and my mom's dad had died. And my cousin, actually, shout out to cousin Janet, because she's one of the only people that's ever texted me happy birthday every year somehow. She's like my mom's cousin. She's like old and cool and was always cool. And I remember she was the one taking me to the airport because she was one of the only people I like felt safe with, but she obviously didn't get it. And this is the thing with families is they truly don't get like that a family member could be a life or death threat.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that.
They assume normalcy.
I don't blame her for this, but he was dropping off my brother because we were both going to fly up to my grandpa's funeral, and he like tried to talk to me, and I think this is funny. I got on an escalator to get away from him, but it was like crowded.
Reverse Donald Trump.
So it was crowded, so I couldn't even like run. I literally got on an escalator. I was moving at this speed away from him. That's kind of funny.
You have these great cinematic comedy moments.
I know, that's why I want to turn it into a TV show. The least I could do is make money.
The Trader Joe's in the elevator is situational comedy.
Can I be honest? I knew it was funny at the time. It was not lost on me. I was like, this is
he's
what
gonna tell his friend this.
Irony. No, he's gonna cry in the airport and act like a victim. You know, want to know something else crazy? Someone else I'll shout out. Zoe Slayton, my only high school friend, who I have told this story before, but she randomly ran into my father he was doing a volunteer. Everyone who sucks does volunteer work. That's what I've learned.
That's the takeaway here. Volunteers are
red flags.
Red flags.
Red flags. But he found out what high school she went to, and it ended up being the one I transferred to, which again, he was probably stalking me on Facebook or something. I know my mom at that point wouldn't have told him because I went to
He was volunteering at a high school.
No, he was somewhere. I
Okay.
wish I knew. They ran into each other in downtown San Jose. I guess they were talking to each other, and he found out she went to Lincoln and asked about me. She was like, "Yes, I know that person," and he just went on like a tangent, like screaming and crying about why he doesn't know why I don't talk to him anymore. I guess she said something like, "Well, I can kind of guess why." She's like a bitch. I love her.
Yeah.
She's the reason that
yeah.
I literally was okay in that third high school. I still dropped out, but anyway.
I bet when she told you that, you're like,
literally.
Delicious.
No, it truly felt like, oh, I don't have to do all of this shit myself. Someone else will say the thing for me, because that's just not something I ever had with any of them.
That's what you should have with your siblings. If we could talk to 10-year-old Hay and Jordan.
Dude, I love that you and your brother have had that kind of come to Jesus or whatever, though. That's so recent.
Yes. No, I love him.
Is he still in Denver?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys talk a lot? I know you stayed with him a couple times.
I'm actually really like proud that we got back together, but I'm also very proud about we've like have very much had the conversation that like when we haven't seen each other in a while and we visit each other, we really have fun that first day we see each other.
Mm-hmm.
That second day, it's kind of dropping off, and third day, it doesn't. So now we like really make plans where it's like we hang out for like a day, 2 max, and we have a great time, and it just works.
And that's on boundaries?
That's on the no contact spectrum.
So it's low contact, controlled contact. I think that's honestly perfect. I think that's great.
And it's like not awkward because we both want it to go well. So
and then that's how it does.
Yeah.
Good for you. I love that you had that honest conversation.
Yeah. Shifting the spotlight now to Mummy. When's the last time you talked to her?
Okay. This is funny too. Bitches love to pop up on me. I love when we said we're only going to touch on the family of origin, but it sets the stage
We're
touching. Pun intended. But the tea is, so yeah, I finally, I'm like, did my mom ghost me? I can't even tell. I was living with her on and off, and it kind of just wasn't working out. I wasn't getting to school. She was out of town. She was being gay in the same room as me, and I'll leave it at that. To be clear, if it was straight sex, I would have been more upset. It's just that it was my mom fucking.
Yeah.
And again, they weren't hot either.
But in the same room? Is that like a studio apartment?
Well, we lived in one room together every time we lived together. Sometimes sharing a bed, sometimes
I
not.
shared a room with my dad.
Mm-hmm. How long?
Like 3 years.
Yeah. It was like less time than that, but most of our time together. And so she was like probably in the Amazon or Hawaii or who knows what. And I eventually was just like, I want to have more control over my life. I'm 16. I was like, I want to have more control over my life. This isn't really working out. And I did choose to stop going to school because I wasn't making it there anyway. And I found a coworker to live with, one of my Trader Joe's coworkers, and just bounced around from like actual housing situations. Like once I made money, I could pay rent, and we were like in the same city. It really was like having an ex I was trying to be on good terms with. I was like, we don't hang out, but if I see her, I'll be cordial. And then there were a few moments like 17, 18 in San Jose, and she would be like, I built sets for this play, come to the play. And I would go, and I was like...
That's perfect, because you just go to the play, and then after you talk for 5 minutes and leave.
This is what I thought.
Yeah.
But in those 5 minutes, she found a way to like brag about me to all these people who have known me since I was a little kid. Like, they'd be like, how are you? I'm like, good. I'm doing like an internship with a senator. And she'd be like, yeah, I always made them do their own like phone calls and call the bank and the dentist because I'm like, you got to know how to do these things. And I'm like, yeah, you did make me do that. It's because you weren't there. You didn't even know about that till now.
She's like an executive producer showing up at the award show.
It was like that. It was just like that. She's such an exec.
She's in suit.
And I was so pissed that she's like trying to take credit for me and she doesn't even know me. I was just like, go to the bathroom until the play started. And like try to talk to anyone else during intermission and like bounce after. But it was like me trying. I finally, there's a whole thing with financial aid where she tried to claim me as a dependent, which then
and her taxes,
fucked up my homelessness scholarship. So I barely graduated my senior year because my tech broke. I had no phone. I had no computer. And then I was locked out of school computers because I thought I owed them $10,000 because she wanted to make $5,000 off me on the IRS return.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's not the best story.
You were locked out of school computers.
Yeah, and I had nothing else. And it's because my mom fucked up my scholarship by claiming me as a dependent on her taxes, even though we hadn't talked in 2 years.
This college.
This is when I'm like, 20.
So
21.
like you're not a registered student. That's why you can't get into the computer.
No, I was. But like they thought that I wasn't qualified for the scholarship I got. They thought I was ineligible all of a sudden because they did whatever tax check that year.
Because they're like, wait, you're not a poor kid. You have this income that your mom keeps.
And I couldn't legally be anyone's dependent to qualify for this hobo kid grant.
Hobo.
Which like
Forgot about hobo.
I didn't. Well, I didn't. Yeah, and there was like a whole mess of like maybe only twice she showed up in Davis. So she got an old landlady's.
That's where you went to college.
Davis, California. UC Davis, top 10 public university. 12 when I graduated, but they're back up now. She got one of my old landladies to be like, I'm their mom and just give me the address. Which like, if you were a landlady, why doesn't this person's mom already have their address? But whatever.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
So she literally just showed up one day. Oh, I could tell this story long if I wanted, cinematic if I wanted. So she lived in this van. That was her, like a Westphalia, which again, now they make me sick. But she, like, I lived in this little Section 8 housing thing that was all these, and everything I say sounds like a lie. So it was these little houses built for the workers that built the train tracks. And then they turned them all into units. Like, I lived in a studio house. It was the best. It was the best.
Nice.
All my neighbors were poor and crazy and old, and then there was me.
That's just really quick. Those kinds of units survive the best during inflation because rich people don't want to live in them.
They don't want to live
there.
So
the price doesn't jack up.
Every night, the train sounded like a robot dinosaur war. But I'm so serious, you get used to it. I paid like $600 to live by myself in college. And it was all, with my grants, it all worked out. But it's a loop. And so I remember I was like really sick, but I was like, I got to get groceries. So I'm biking to the grocery store and there's just these huge headlights. And I do remember thinking like, was that a cop car for a second? Like it was just so bright. And then it started rushing at me. And I was like, what the fuck? And I look up and it's my mom. She's like, hey kid. I was seeing bats under a bridge nearby with my biologist friend, and I figured I'd stop by. Like, Anna gave me your address, and she basically talked me into, like, letting her take me to the grocery store because she wanted to, like, be a mom for, like, 20 minutes. And I just remember, like, in the highlights of that are, like, in the car, she's like, I don't even know your major. And I'm like, whose fault is that? We don't talk about anything. And then I remember, like, she was taking so long, and I'm working at Trader Joe's, so don't stay in the grocery store after closing. Don't do that. She was taking so long at checkout, and it was so embarrassing.
I have a question. Are you in this moment? Are you feeling guilt for pushing her away?
No, I'm just embarrassed of her entirely.
Okay,
But
so
you know what?
you're okay with yourself. With
I'll take it back. 20% guilt because I was like, I could barely talk to her. I was just so.
because you know she wants it, and you're not.
And I'm going along with it,
Yeah.
and I'm not yelling at her. So that must be a product of guilt. But I mostly was like, fuck you, I don't care. And she's not picking up on that at all. And then I ran into a friend, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want anyone to like think about my mom. I don't want anyone to ever think I have a mom or even ask me about her again or like, I just want to hide her. And yeah, she like chased me down when I was waiting outside because I was done. Oh, she did not offer to pay for my groceries.
Oh, hilarious.
Obviously.
Perfect.
Obviously. That didn't even occur to me till years later. She chased me down. I was like, are you a member of the co-op? Can I get your discount?
Oh my God. Embarrassing.
It's like 10:20, like they've been closed. And she just dropped me off. And then it happened one more time. Because again, she has my fucking address and I can't move because it's the only Section 8 housing available that I can afford with my scholarship. And she dropped by one more time, like a day before my 21st birthday, knocked on the door. I was like, here, I got a book for you. I'm on my way to fucking some Reno, a Burning Man, like decompression party off season or something. And she's like, here's a book on women's leadership. I know you turn 21 tomorrow. Don't get too drunk, and drove away. To be clear, I have never drank in my life. Still haven't.
Yeah.
And she like
big part about you.
kind of one of my things, despite how much I slur my words. So that was definitely the last time
That was last time.
I saw her.
So that we can move on to your other no contacts, but I am curious about like, because you don't feel any guilt about it now.
No.
What was that like? Like the waning down of that?
It was literally a male therapist who also hit on me that helped.
Okay.
At Davis,
Check,
California.
please. I don't even know what that means.
At Davis, California, I did have a therapist for a moment included in my, God, that was the best health insurance I ever had. And he had a similar mom. He had like a little druggy, crazy, little slutty mommy. Not gay, unfortunately. But I basically said, like, I am not sure if I'm doing the right thing. Again, I'm observing myself making these decisions, and I have to trust they're right because I've gotten myself this far, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel like I deserve it. And what if I regret all this time? And he literally said these powerful words to me. Who cares? He said, who cares if you change your mind in the future? Because this is how you feel now. And every day you just have to do what you feel is right now.
Bars.
It literally
And
freed
also,
me.
what are you doing later?
He did do that. He did say, hit me up in 2 years once our sessions were over,
Ooh.
which I then came to learn was the legal amount of time that you can date a client after you've helped them.
No,
I didn't do it.
That's good advice. I remember years ago, my friend was just met somebody and they were gonna like move to Seattle, and like I said, knows who I'm talking about, but I'm right away moved to Seattle, meet with them, and it's like I remember our friends being like, what are you doing? You're making a crazy decision. And it's like, okay, but so if he decides he wants to leave, he leaves. Who cares?
Just do it.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward, you're on your own now. And
Wait, I have one corny
Sure.
capstone to this. When I finally wrote an email to tell my mom I wasn't talking to her, so this was like in my 20s, it was the first night I did a booked show
Oh,
at Milk Bar. Isn't that funny?
yeah.
It was like I've been doing stand-up for 8 days and got booked on a Milk Bar show in San Francisco. And like,
Were you on the flyer?
it was, yes,
That's
I
big.
was. Yes, I was. My whole legal name, which no one even knows anymore. And this is so embarrassing. It was a bringer show. I brought 28 people.
Wow. In San
Oh,
Francisco, you weren't even living there.
It's humiliating. Well, I was in whatever, Oakland, Berkeley, but yeah, essentially.
Did you crush?
Like no. Like
Oof.
I started
'Cause that's the whole room.
No.
28 people.
I did well for what the fuck that bringer show was.
Okay.
My material was like hit or miss, which whatever, but I crushed because Tony Sparks, famously a classic, I'll just call him a classic host in the Bay Area.
He's been hosting in the Bay Area since the 1990s.
He's an old man and he acts like it. And he said something to the audience like, oh, there's a lot of pretty girls in the audience. I can't believe you guys are laughing. Like, I can't believe you get the jokes. And everyone just booed him.
Hilarious.
And then he brought me up and said, your next comedian is also very beautiful. Give it up for, brought me up.
Perfect transition.
So I opened. Thanks for calling me pretty. I hope I get my jokes. And that
that's
crushed.
good.
That crushed. And that's kind of honestly, probably that moment is the reason I then sat down at 1 a.m. and wrote an email to my mom being like, we do not live in the same reality. We never have.
That's a big thing about the arts. They give you confidence in yourself.
Literally.
That's legit.
I was like, no, other people think I make sense. I don't really care if you think, I know you don't think I make sense. You're not interested. You're simply not interested. And it's not my business why. And so I wrote that out to her. And I remember being like, don't even respond because nothing you say means anything. And I've known that. And then she responded with like 4 different emails. I remember it's weird she didn't just do the same thread. But one of the subject lines was worth reading. With like quotes and caps.
The Daily Mail.
Probably fucking Gmail. Probably classic. Maybe Yahoo. So that was the end of that.
Dang. Okay. So then, I know that you had I don't know if we're gonna name names, but the boyfriend in Oakland.
I'll name names.
Okay. So I know Kai is coming up. Oh, you're starting with your first boyfriend. Is that what you want to do next?
Sure. I then had a 7-year relationship with a man, which is so funny because he just was my mom.
You were seeking safety?
Oh, yeah. He was outwardly woke, like had a woke boy job that I also helped him like.
So you're 19 when you started dating?
20.
20.
And he's
28.
He was.
When you started, he was 28?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like stable. It makes sense that you did this.
Not that he was generous with his money, but anyway.
But there was a stability to him that wasn't at your family.
100%. And we had 2 different couples therapists tell him he was my mother. And he was making me feel the way my mom did, which was like.
In a good way or a bad way?
Bad.
Oh, bad, because your mom.
That
makes sense.
Wow.
Mom bad.
Conditioning.
I know, right?
I know it's so taboo to have a bad mom. It's like people really get sad. Bad dad is like a joke. It's such a punchline. Like daddy issues is the name of a meme account. It's like we know dads suck, but a mom not caring about their kid, people are like,
I know. A dad.
What'd you do?
A dad, it's like, oh, he's like a drunk. He likes to gamble. A mom, it's like that bitch.
Literally. Orion's joke of like, I have an alcoholic parent, and I won't say who because it's not as funny when it's a woman.
Yeah.
That's my entire life. But yeah, did you ask me?
You broke up with your
Oh yeah, I dated a man who was my mom. And what's funny?
And you did it for 7 years.
7 years.
So you broke up when you were 27.
And I truly, in my heart, believe once I got on Lexapro and started seeing a therapist that really, really understood me, within 4 months, I was like, oh, I'm trying to get emotional stability from a person I don't need it from. I'm actually good. So him being like, get help, made me leave him, which is so funny. And I did. And I dumped him in a Zoom therapy session. Not even to his face. Technically, I broke up with him to my therapist, or couples therapist, and he just heard me say it. And then, I never talked to him again. And he did try texting me, and he sent pad thai to my house the next day.
Okay, next up, you're in Denver with your friends.
Well, there is something to.
Oh, there's in between?
There's a detail. No, girl, there's no in between. I wish there was. The same weekend I dumped him was the same weekend I heard that there was a man videoing me through my window. Like literally in the same 36 hours. And that was part of why I was like, and I must run. I must dump you and I must run. I went and stayed in Davis with Ashton, my friend.
Yeah, being on the run is kind of a no contact from the world.
Dude, and the way that I felt at home.
That's
the
profound.
way that this thing kicked off like a 6-month, maybe 4.5-month journey of me not sleeping at home because my lease was complicated. He wouldn't let me leave even though I was being videoed. And I was like, this is home for me. It's just crashing at people's places. I was in Portland and New York and Hawaii, and it was just dog sitting in the same city and stuff. But so it was about 3 months later. I'm in Denver on the run and having fun was an Instagram caption for me at the time.
I think you just sold your first book.
Okay. Is that what the name of the show should be? Okay. And I was like definitely more into my queerness than ever. I had tried to come out to Brandon. He knows who he is. And he definitely, this is what he did that was so mommy, is he'd be like, you can be whoever you want, you, they, them, bitch. But then like would refuse to not call me his girl and would be like, if I can't call your bag your purse, it's too confusing. And like all this weird shit that doesn't make any sense. So I did suppress everything about me. To be with a mediocre white man who acted like my mommy. And
so you went they them between Denver and
I had already had friends who were calling me they them even, and I didn't tell you, Jordan, sorry.
Yeah. Makes sense that I'm closer to the Brandon side than the
it was side. Just more like I had a couple of friends who I had the conversation with and they offered and I was like, sure, let's see how it feels, even though I've been new since I was a kid.
What year is this? This is like
2021.
2021, my they them skills were not there yet.
You put me in your phone.
Yeah.
As
That's a good tip. If anybody's trying to get better at they theming, you put them. I did this with Langston too.
Yeah.
As the contact in your phone, it's like, hey, they them.
Hey,
beacon.
they beacon.
So you just get used to seeing their name associated with it.
And with Lang too.
Yeah.
God, we've really put you through the they them boot camp. That's so funny. Because for the listener, Lang and Jordan, our childhood friends,
Lang's the
and
producer.
literally the reason I'm here. Sorry to do a British accent. I triggered myself. So I did go to Denver. I remember hanging out with the comedians there, like Hannah Jones and Salma Jackie, and being like, I think I'm ready to be queer. I'm gonna do it. Cut to 4th of July. I walk into a Fjallraven backpack store. I do meet man, the first hot man I've probably ever been with. We do have a 12-hour date the next day where everyone is afraid. You got a text while I was on that date.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you met him IRL. That's hot also.
And I've never been on an app because I don't want to meet anyone.
Yeah, he was working at the store. You what your friend gave him your number?
My friend put my customer information down, signed me up for the email list. I put my number on it, and he texted me from there a link with no context to Joey Chestnut, a San Jose native, breaking the world record for eating hot dogs.
And you're like, I found my man.
That literally is how I felt. I was like, this person's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so you rushed into that pretty quick. So
it was not he rushed and I let him. I still didn't say I love you and did it. I was still I don't know, man. I don't know. But
passive rushing. And so you stayed in Denver for a little bit and then you came back to
one day.
The Bay.
And then the next day he came to the airport because he knew my flight was at 8:30 and he held up signs with all the inside jokes we had from the one single day before, including 54 glizzies in 10 minutes.
And he's like, that's not a red flag.
I was like, this is so funny. He's
That's
not
not
being
weird.
romantic because the signs are funny.
He followed me and I've known him for 12 hours. But
It literally fresh off. But here's the thing is that I was fresh off the stalker and I told him all that. I told him about my breakup and the stalker. And he texted me consent to do it. He was already there. But he was like, if you don't want to do this because it's triggering for the stalker thing, let me know. I said, it's fine. And he goes, okay, then come here and look up at the window. So I thought he was, you know what I mean? I thought he knew. I thought we were just
sensitive
funny.
king. So you're long distance for a while.
He visited me a month later and we got together immediately. And then he visited me once a month and then he moved to the Bay.
And then he moved to Oakland for you.
He sure did. I was repopulating the black population of Oakland.
Oh, God. The white ladies always take credit. You're just like your mom.
And I love to travel. Yeah, I am like her in some ways. The gay part especially.
So how long were you together in Oakland for?
Probably 6 months. That's when he really started to lose it, which Jordan was there for.
I witnessed
all of it.
Yeah.
What did it look like from the outside? When did you know it was bad?
Well, the whole time, but the prime.
He was so hot.
He was really hot, and that makes sense to me. That's why. But the primary.
I didn't know I could think a man would look good. He was pretty like a woman. Okay, keep going.
The primary issue with you guys was that he was very introverted, and
around everyone else, not me. So that was this weird thing I had.
That's what introverted means.
I didn't know that.
And then
I didn't know that.
So you walk into a room and you're friends with everybody. You hang out. You want to stay longer. You keep talking. You keep meeting, and keeping up with you is a challenge.
I don't think anyone ever could. I don't even have that expectation. For a partner.
But then you take somebody who's does not have that skill set, which not everybody does. And that wasn't really the part. The crazy thing wasn't even what I thought you guys were not suitable for.
Here's the thing. He was, and this is the excuse he gave me, and it doesn't mean it's not true just because it came from a crazy man acting wrong. He was hate crime by a group of white friends who all knew each other before they knew him in college. He was drugged. He was assaulted, and that changed. So here's why it was weird, because he and I would go into a room and be friends with them. We'd go to dinner and be friends with the whole restaurant when we'd leave, when it was the two of us.
That's right. I remember he was okay with strangers.
He was great with strangers.
Yeah.
He made friends. That's why I was like, we're the same. But when he entered my friend groups, and he did try to tell me this the first trip, he went, I'm going to have anxiety in your friend groups, and I want to meet them, but I want to take it slow.
It's when everybody knows each other. This is how I feel about corporates. It
felt like a power dynamic.
That's how I feel about birthday shows and corporate events. If they all know each other, then it's you against them.
And he would be we literally had to leave a work thing, and he was crying, and he was just like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I get it, but also you need to go to therapy. Yeah, you were hate crimed on a racist basis 5 years ago. That's not your fault, but what are you going to do about it? What do you want? Who do you want to be? How do you want to live?
Okay, so you break up with him.
Yeah, it's so funny because I never even said we're breaking up. I had to block him continually while we were still together because he would call me like literally 111 times a day, and I had to use my phone.
That's a real number?
For work. Yeah. That was one day, 115. He broke his record. And then he just was following me everywhere. The highlights of that are I was crashing at a friend's house to hide from him so he wouldn't come to my house. And then I didn't know, my roommates let him in, not knowing we weren't together. Well, because we were together, but we were no contact. Still, he stole my Apple Watch.
Your parents did too.
Okay.
Yeah.
He stole my Apple Watch and tracked me to my friend's location.
That's where it went really haywire.
This is when it was next level.
Yeah.
He followed me to my friend's house, and
because if you have the Apple Watch, you have Find My, and you can see where your phone is.
So he located my phone to the building I was hiding at, a block from Comedy Oscar, where we used to run our show, and he used the Find My iPhone feature to make my phone make a sound to prove I was hiding in there. Can I just say I'm a little bit smart? Because I saw the screen light up. I immediately connected my headphones so that it wouldn't make a noise.
Dang.
So he was outside for an hour.
He was treating you like his iPhone.
Yeah. He needed to find me. And we all know the tea on that. He now lives in that building. Did I ever tell you that?
Oh my God.
He lives in that building.
It never ends.
Because my friend who lives there saw him downstairs in the hall, and he moved the fucking a year ago. I think he's still there. So people see him fucking everywhere.
Dude, I don't even think we should be talking about it.
He has done everything he could possibly do to me at this point, except actually kill me. I can't live my life
okay, fuck yeah.
To be clear, I don't talk to him, but it's part of why I left the Bay. 100%. Huge, and I've never been back. And people try to book me up there, and I won't go. Because everyone sees him. You've seen him 3 times.
Yeah, it's
he's
the
hot
weirdest
and tall,
thing.
and it's hard to miss.
I saw him a few months ago.
Again?
I think I told you about it. Maybe it was 6 months ago, but he was skating and almost got hit by a car.
Everyone almost hits him with a car. That's Jeff too.
I know. It's just all it needs is one good time. Okay, so then.
Yeah, I did file 2 restraining orders against him, and the judge didn't accept them beyond the temp status because Kai would not appear in court, unsurprisingly. And the judge said to me, I can't actually adjudicate this case unless you both show up so I can read your body language to prove who's lying.
Ugh. Body language, by the way, is also pseudoscience.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, it's what incels use to write. So that's him.
And he's also sending you 800 emails all the time.
Yeah.
And in the entire time, he's clearly just doing that all day.
He's doing it all day. He's saying the most horrendous things he can hurt me. He wished I never got out of that house in San Jose. And
oh my God.
Oh, I never told you about that. He CC'd our friend Danny Ramos on that one.
Jeez. Oh yeah. He would also get jealous when you guys
are
together.
So he made up it was really after he made up a whole story that I was cheating with my friend who's
not me.
Literally
Didn't see me as a threat. He was yeah, he's cool.
I honestly was why'd you pick Danny? He's cool. Yeah, it was pretty funny because whatever. If I wanted him, I could have had him. I did say that to Kai. I was we would have already done something if that was gonna be who we are. I knew him before you.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's weird. Logic didn't work.
It's weird that when a crazy person goes nuts, they don't listen.
You can't outwit them.
Oh my God. Oh, he wrote me a note in blood. I never told anyone that, but I'll say it here. What? He wrote me a note in blood.
Mic control.
He literally, it said good luck with Donnie Ramos, and he left it on my porch. Look, I'm assuming it's him. I don't know who else it would be. I didn't test it.
On paper.
Yeah.
It's blood.
He wrote in blood.
This is a specific kind of legal no contact. This is a no contact. You got the government involved.
Yeah, not that they wanted to help. And the reason I explored, I will say, so my dad did try to show up to a show I was doing in San Jose years later. And because of that, I did swear to never perform there again. Yeah. Well, I have a different name now, so maybe it's fine. But I looked in then to refine.
I never even thought about that as one of the reasons why. Yeah. Okay.
It's one of the reasons why, and it's one of the reasons I
change your name. I mean,
changed my name a lot, and also you could say I've self-sabotaged my own Instagram growth because I don't want actually to be famous. I just want to be a TV writer behind the scenes. Yet I am doing this podcast. I do hope to tour nationally.
Let me ask you this: for anybody listening or watching this who's maybe going through something similar, do you have any advice for them?
Oh, do not keep talking to them. I know it feels good, right? Everything I responded more than I even was ever honest about. I was in Hawaii running from him being like, and you're wrong. Like, it's so pointless. All they want is any reaction. The more that you are festering and you want to express it, just there's someone else in your life you can send what you want to say to. I should have written a psycho email back and sent it to you. You know what I mean? Just to like get it out. And maybe you would have given me validation, even not just the action of it is like, I need to be witnessed, but this person can't see you in more ways than one. And so, yeah, just you don't need to keep going. It doesn't mean anything about you. Sometimes shit just doesn't work out, whether they're cuckoo puffs or it's just an incompatibility there. The person who hurts you is not going to be the person that can fix you. They're just not.
Was there any guilt involved with that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Here's a T2. He's a tall black man. This is not that long after George Floyd. I was not going to call the cops on him. If he was white, absolutely. Yeah. I'm like anti-cops in every way, but I would have eventually easily. It took so much to even get courts involved. I don't trust the court system.
Right. You were trying to go to his family.
I went to his, that's a whole other, they are on my side. I'll just say that. And shout out to all of them. And I miss his mother a lot. But, yeah, I really, even his family, his like woke black grandparents are like, we're not cop callers either, but we're worried about you. Maybe you should call the cops. And I didn't, but I did file the restraining order.
You felt guilty about that.
Again, it was like when I left home, I was like, I'm not directly sending a sheriff to inflict bodily harm. But I have to be okay with the outcome. If he does some crazy shit, like, and he would mouth off to cops, and he's been police brutalized when he was younger. Oof. He was like thrown in prison literally for spitting while skateboarding when he was 18. Just some.
When he's on wheels, bad shit happens.
Okay, blaming him. No, he is a reckless skater. But yeah, I had a lot of. I don't think that's white guilt though. I think that was me just weighing reality. Is that crazy?
No, I mean, I don't think so.
I'm like, he doesn't have to die. I don't want him to die.
No, but
way.
I think that like the whole no contact thing, like guilt is such a big part of it.
And they'll
like,
use it against you.
That's like if it's like self-preservation versus guilt is what boundaries are, and it's like that rest like negotiating with those feelings is a big part of the experience.
And this has been my experience in life. Is like I have had to choose self-preservation and therefore kind of being alone so many times that it's given me like a complex. Like I'm just afraid I'm a narcissist. I'm like, why? I have a joke about it. I'm like, how come is it a good sign or bad sign that I just don't fucking deal with shit? Yeah. I can't. I've been tired of it since I was a baby. I know, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to change, but.
Okay. Here's another question for you and then we'll wrap it up. And I think we could do this all at the same time. I've been friends with you for a long time. And I've seen you become very close with friends, typically women.
White women.
And be very close in a short period of time. And then all of a sudden, no contact.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have theories I'm embarrassed to say. Because again, I don't want to sound like a narcissist. I mean, it's not all about me too.
But I'm asking you, it's like not often is it that direct.
Can I quote my therapist?
Yeah.
And again, okay. I just have a joke.
I think this is the good stuff.
Do you remember I will talk about anything Lang will let me. Here's the tea. I think, and this is absolutely not in every case, but I've had multiple therapists who I'm like, how come this keeps happening? Like, I'm not even the one ending the friendship most of the time. Or I'm not the one who's mad at me, And I'm like, how come?
No, I don't know.
I'm not the one who's like, we have to end this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a couple things. It's either like I've been ghosted entirely with no information, no conflict. So I don't even know if I did anything wrong or if there's anything for me to fix. Or I go, hey, I don't like this. I don't want to be spoken to this way. I don't think we should handle this way, whatever. And I don't see it as a big deal. I'm putting it out there because you only ask someone for something because you think they're going to give it to you.
And because you want the relationship to continue.
That's the only point. And then they are scared shitless of that. And then they can't handle it. They don't want to talk to me anymore. They're embarrassed. I don't know. I can't really speak for them. But I've had multiple therapists say, this is a quote, I have a nonchalance that drives insecure people insane.
Oh.
And she said that to me so long ago before it was even as true as it is now. And I think it's because most people do hate themselves.
Yeah.
At least on some level, even if they're working on it. And I I'll never be done. But like I've come so far to the point where like I have done so much for myself. I trust myself down. I have a sort of stability that I didn't have a choice. I can't even give myself credit. I didn't have a choice, right? Like I just had to be good with myself and not get in my own way.
Yeah.
And I think people don't know how to handle that energy. And something that, again, a therapist recently says people want to mirror that when they meet me. I've had a lot of people, I won't name them because they're nice and honest and still my friends, but they're like, when I'm around you, I feel like I can, I sound crazy. I sound like I think I'm trying to start a cult, but they're just like, I feel like I can be you when I'm with you. I suddenly want to take pictures of myself. I want to take selfies because I feel free around you, or like I'm comfortable with myself. My current partner was like the first thing I wanted, like from our relationship, was to be as comfortable with myself as you are with yourself. Again, not in a creepy way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and then people they're themselves, which is fine with me. But then I point that out. I'm like, you're not doing, we said we'd communicate this way, or even just asking it, not even referring to a previous similarity we supposedly had. And they're like, don't call me out. This is my fantasy. This is my therapist theory.
And the nonchalance thing, what was it again?
I have a nonchalance that drives insecure people insane.
And so that makes them open up to you faster than they're comfortable with.
Which I didn't ask them to.
Right. And we've talked a lot about the idea of leading people on. Which is that like, if you're nice to, there's a lot of people where they don't get a lot of attention. And if you really look them in the eye and you're nice to them, they get ideas.
They're thirsty for it.
Yeah.
This happened with, and we'll talk about my last stalker. I don't want to call her a stalker fully because it's not continued, but, and I'll say her name, maybe we believe it, but I have a woman. I have a woman in LA. I thought I was making a straight friend. She got Jordan involved in her scheme. She literally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This was an awesome scheme. I love this scheme. This scheme was great.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse because we did get to go to the Magic Castle. But she essentially I crowd worked her years ago when visiting LA. And she...
A meet cute for her.
I thought we had met by the way she was DMing me and then inviting me to like hike and all these things. And I was like, people want friends in LA. This is nothing. Finally, and she only talks about having dated men. Finally, there was a brunch that she invited me to with a printed happy birthday name card. There was she paid for my yoga membership 1 month. She forced me to let her drive me to the airport at 5 a.m. after I said no. She wrote me a list of 5 reasons I shouldn't keep saying no.
And I'm seeing her around and I just assume that you've been friends forever.
You think we're friends for 10 years because then she reaches out to you.
I never even think to ask. That's how much it was.
And that's not your fault, Jordan.
Yeah.
Because then she fucking plans a secret trip, a double date with Julia and his partner.
My partner.
And me and her to the Magic Castle.
Got us into the Magic Castle because her cousin was working there.
Chef or something.
And
the whole
and during our dinner, during our fancy dinner, we're all dressed up, we're having a good time. I'm like, I still think it's your old friend.
And she cried when I sang. There was a piano playing itself and we were all singing the song and she was like, that was my favorite part.
And then you drop us off.
And then she drives me home and it's election night.
I was going to say that. As a button, I was going to be like, that's not even the worst thing that happened that night.
So we get
that's
out
when
at
Trump got reelected.
At midnight to find out Trump was reelected because you're not supposed to have your phone. Oh, my God.
Oh, kind of saved for a little bit that night.
Our final moments.
Yeah.
I was spent with a different enemy. I'm just kidding, kind of. But she tells me she likes me finally. I didn't even know you were gay until you told me 2 days ago. You told me you had a girlfriend in high school. You went out longer than me. I had no idea.
And you were finding out in that moment that you had been on a date that night.
And apparently a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And I say I'm not. It's not I'm kind of in a situation. She goes, I don't know if you're dating him. And I was like, I am kind of in a situation. And I put it that way because that was true at the time. And I was just like, I don't think we're like that type of shit. And
and it was long, right?
She asked me, our conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she asked me would you ever like me? And she's a very beautiful girl and has a lot of great qualities. And this is where I probably fucked up because I was like, of course, in another situation. It's not true. I don't think we're compatible even when she wasn't being weird, but I was just I don't really, I don't see a problem with being of course, and I made a joke. I said, I'll keep you posted.
Oof.
But
that's
we
not
laughed.
good.
And then she was like, I'm really sad, but I'm proud of myself for being honest. And like, I still want to be friends. That's how we left it.
No, and those
And she
situations
did
can
not
be so
leave me.
awkward that it gets to a point where you're like, I'll say whatever if you let me out of the car.
And I don't want her to feel bad,
Yeah.
especially so I don't care about a man, but it's hard to hurt a woman.
Yeah, so then that happens, and then she
doesn't stop.
continues
She
inviting you to stuff.
DoorDashes me breakfast, brings me like medicine and supplies to
and-
my comedy shows when I'm sick, and like
she told you that she feels herself around you.
she part of her speech telling her that she loves me or whatever. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But she went, I've never felt this way around anyone before. I've never felt so seen and understood by anyone in my life. I was like, we've known each other for 5 weeks and I'm treating you normal. This should be your literal bare minimum of how you are treated. I told her that. I said, whatever your standard is, heighten it to what this was. This is a normal interaction.
Yeah. Okay, we should get out of here, but I have one question that's just like to wrap this up. Because like you
And she showed up my JFL audition. Okay.
Oof. It's not like you need to have a cool head that night.
I mean, she knows other comics, but it wasn't. It was disconcerting.
She dated, this is for the comedy head, she dated the victim of the movie The Comedian by Jerry Seinfeld. Anyway.
And now she produces a comedy show.
Okay. So what they're sort of accusing you of, I think, is love bombing. Because you open yourself up
Have they
to
said
them.
that?
No. This is just my
Lang,
theory.
have they said that?
This is my theory, is that because I've been accused of this as well, is that you open yourself up to people, you connect in a night, it's a very new experience for them. For you, it's kind of business as usual.
Ooh, yeah.
And then you text them back a lot, and then
I'm having fun.
they have like this hangover from that they have trouble recovering from. But some people call that love bombing, which is a manipulation strategy.
What's different is love bombing is with the intent to withdraw so you maintain control. And I'm like, I just want to stay normal friends. And they don't. It's this weird Spider-Man meme because I'm like, you're being weird. No, you're being weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't changed at all. You just thought this was. I don't know how to regulate. And I'm serious. The last time this happened to me, end of last year, it sent me to Al-Anon. I'm like, I'm so sick of this, like, heavy on-off friendships. Again, only white women. Because only white people have wanted to, like, I feel like have that entitlement to me.
Except Magic Castle, girl.
That was like a romantic thing.
Oh.
I'm talking about in my friendships.
Okay.
Only white people have then been like, but you should be doing this for me and you should be doing that. You should be like treating me this way and putting up with me. If you know that this is a thing for me, why don't you just do it? Like boundaryless hoes. I'm sorry.
And why do you think you put off people of color so much? Okay.
That's a bit.
I think.
Can I say a real thing
go
about
ahead.
my POC friends? Because I'm just curious if this is a common experience. I've had more solid relationships with POC for a long time and like all kinds, but it does make me feel weird. Like, am I subconsciously fetishizing? I think the truth is POC don't fetishize me. I think other white people often think my story is amazing and I'm kind of a trinket to them, if I'm being honest. And again, I don't know. This is all just pattern recognition to the best of my ability. And that's why then when I'm not like this kind of perfect little victim cool friend they have, they freak the fuck out. But POC are just, I'm more like on thin ice with them. Like I could be more of just an imperfect person with them.
On thin ice.
Literally. I mean, they tell me that all the time.
Because of what
Lang
you say
just
and do.
gave me a threatening hand motion. Oh, I thought you were going, shut the fuck up, which is funny. No, I think that's why I've maintained more friendships with POC because their culture isn't to be as entitled to me as a white person. And they're just like, yeah, you're literally just a person. They're not as shocked by my story or any other behaviors. These are things I've, self-conscious, so I think a lot about.
You know what I think? I think that you should talk to 9 other people about their no contact relationships and make it a show.
9 other people.
This is the first episode, and this is the idea here is that me saying this spawns the whole podcast.
Oh, you want this to be the first episode?
Yeah, so this is episode
Should
1.
this be the first episode?
And then I think so. Yeah.
Everyone's going to think you're the host.
And as we say at the end of every episode, kumbaya, right, hey?
We actually say
Sign off.
thanks, no cunts, no cunties, no... I don't know. I haven't figured out a name yet because it's just the first episode.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap?
Thank you for being my twin brother in comedy and having a weird meth British dad and other shared trauma and, being one of the good ones. Thanks for coming on No Contact, Jordan.
You're welcome. Anything you want to say to the audience? Subscribe, like.
I think I want to call them
DSP.
my stalkers. I'm going to call the fans my stalkers. Is that funny?
It's funny if they know the story. Okay.
Thanks for being here, Jordan. You were a great guest.
You were a great guest. Okay, bye.
No call, no text, no contact.